How's it going, everybody? Greg here with RC Driver, and as you can see, I am back with our ARRMA Senton 4x4 Mega, and it is pretty dirty. Yep, I've been to the track with it, and I've already filmed the action video of it and had a lot of fun with this machine. So before I go into detail about the performance, let's see this machine in action. This thing is so much fun. I had an absolute blast with this machine. For a vehicle that's just over $200, it certainly packs a punch. Alright guys, let's break down the performance of this machine so you guys have a feel for what it's all about. Okay, so let's start off talking about the steering. The steering actually works really well on this machine. I think the servo has the right amount of torque, and it definitely turns within the turning radius I would expect for a vehicle in this price point. Now, could it have a little bit more? Yes, absolutely. It could have a little bit more. But for those of you who are getting into this type of vehicle for the first time, a four-wheel drive short course truck, it's definitely not going to disappoint you. The only thing is, I did have a little problem with the steering. And in video number 2 of this machine, I kind of talked about the high side guards on the chassis and how they help prevent dirt and debris from getting inside. Well, the opposite of that is when stuff does get inside, it stays inside. And while I was just driving that through some rocks and debris and stuff like that, got inside the chassis, worked its way down to the steering, and started to lock up the steering. didn't happen just once or twice. It happened like 4 times actually. So I'd have to stop, flip the truck over, dump it out, and get all the rocks and stuff out of the steering. So that's just something to keep in mind. Depending on where you run it, you may have a little bit of an issue like that. Didn't break anything there, but definitely something to note. Now next up, let's talk about handling. This thing actually handles really well. I was really surprised on how well this machine handled. Out on the BMX track, I was basically just whipping the steering back and forth, trying to get this thing to roll over, and it took a lot for me to get it to roll. When going off of jumps, it has a nice level attitude when it's flying through the air. It soaked up some nasty bumps and stuff like that. I was actually really impressed with the handling. I think ARRMA really did their homework there. Now let's talk about acceleration and braking. On the acceleration side, it's actually pretty quick. I ran this vehicle on the stock 8.4 volt nickel metal battery, and I was pleasantly surprised on the power that it did have. You know, it's no speed demon, but I think that for people that are getting into this truck, I think they're going to be happy with it. And I did run it on a LiPo probably towards the end of my run session there. Definitely ran through a couple of 8.4 volt nickel metal batteries before I tried the LiPo. And overall, it just had really good speed. The only thing I did note is the slipper was probably about a half to maybe a full turn too loose. So I heard a little bit of slipper whine in there, and maybe ARRMA's doing that so you don't bust up any gears or anything like that. But for me, you know, when I'm giving this truck the whole shot off the line, I could hear it whine, and it didn't give me that power that I was looking for. But that's just an easy fix. Just got to go in there and tighten the slipper nut up just a little bit. But other than that, that's fine. Reverse has a good speed for reverse, no problems there. And now let's talk about durability. And yes, I did have a durability issue with this machine, beyond just the steering getting clogged up from the dirt and debris. My durability issue was the front bumper. The front bumper that I thought was going to be indestructible broke. The bottom portion of it here, it cracked at the front here right before the front bulkhead in there, and well, the hinge pin plate fell out, and it did take a hard hit to do it. I did go and jump off one of the berms at the BMX track and nosedive straight into pavement, so maybe that was the issue. I mean, and it was a 45-degree day outside, and cold weather does make plastics a little bit more brittle, but looking at the bumper and where it broke, I think it needs a little bit more material, ARRMA. Just want to throw that out there, just so you guys know everything that I encountered with this truck. But other than that, that's the only thing that broke, and that should be an easy part to replace. Shouldn't be too expensive. But it was a fun machine, and for the price point, everything that you get with this vehicle, how easy it is to maintain, I wouldn't steer anybody away from it. I would absolutely tell you, if you were looking to get one, to go out and grab one. It's a cool looking machine. You could definitely go and upgrade it later on with some more powerful electronics if you want to. These tires are really cool. If you're looking for an awesome backyard basher, the ARRMA Senton 4x4 Mega is one of those machines. If you're new to RC and you're looking for a short course truck, the ARRMA Senton is definitely one you should be checking out. Alright guys, I hope you really enjoyed this review. I had so much fun just going through all the different parts of this series, the unboxing series, the feature series, and of course the running video. If you haven't watched them all, make sure you click on one of those cards so you can see them, and when you're done, make sure you hit the subscribe button, click the notifications bell, throw the video a like, and of course when you have some extra time, head over to rcdriver.com.